Welcome to the Art of Woo podcast with your host, Leigh Erickson. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I don't even know. Okay. I feel like so unprofessional because I was like trying yesterday to like brainstorm like the structure of how this is going to go. And I was like, I should make like an outline and some notes and like all that stuff. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to like stay the course. Like, there's no way I'm going to, I don't know, maybe. But anyways, I'm like,
I did like an outline of my life because the last
oh my
interview I did, they
God.
asked so many questions about my life, and I was like, oh my God,
You're like, I
I
forgot.
don't remember. So I like just wrote a brief, like, okay, I know where I was born. I
Yeah.
know where I lived when I was 3. Okay, we got it.
That's amazing.
Oh,
I am loving your like whole presentation, and your vibe right now is amazing. Like, I just feel like I
oh,
stepped into like Dana's world all over again. It's like
yeah.
making me homesick. But it's amazing. Like, it's just wild because you literally just like you like blend in with your art. It's like your hair and the colors. It's like, did you plan that? Maybe a little bit. Anyways, you look beautiful.
Thanks.
And it's awesome to see you. And
I'm wearing a tank top underneath my
yeah,
inspired by you.
I know
It
we
does feel
should.
better to not worry about, like, my belly,
Oh my
you know,
God.
like my pants rolling down and then the belly just hanging out. I'm like, "You know what?
Right.
We'll just wear a tank top
Oh my God.
under the shirt,
Yep.
tuck it into the pants,
Yep.
and you know
No
what?
one will
Then we're just."
know. It's totally fine. Comfort over, like, that's the thing I've come to the conclusion of with like motherhood is like function over fashion these days. It's like, I don't know. I mean,
Definitely.
yeah, shout out to Amanda for trying to keep us young and hip. And
Mhm. No, all of her
wouldn't it,
crop tops.
I was like debating wearing mine. Wouldn't that have been so funny? Like, that would have
We
been so
always did that
typical. Like,
at the art cave. Every single show, we're like, "Oh." Everyone's like, "You guys planned that?"
well,
"No,
one
we
of us is gonna have to change. Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. Awesome.
And I
So,
almost wore the necklace that we both have because
oh
I
my
know I feel
God.
like you got, like, slightly irritated every time, like, I did that. I was like, "Ooh, I should just do it."
No way. It was just so funny. I just,
Not irritated, just like, "Are you kidding me?"
yeah. And I never
Our
really cared that much. I
favorite
thought
necklace.
it was fun. Did you, speaking of Mountainside Maid, that necklace, she had a baby too. Did you see that?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I follow
Wow.
her on the gram, obviously, and I just saw that
Oh,
she had a
awesome.
baby. It's just that
My Instagram
time.
needs some total, like, I don't even see any of my friends. It's just, like, parenting advice. I'm like, "Where's my
It's,
friends?"
oh my God. It's
I'm like, "How do you
seriously,
can I
yeah.
filter it so I can actually see my friends anymore or not
I
really?"
know.
It's turned
I
into I don't have TikTok, but it's what I imagine TikTok is like
just,
just random
yeah, people you have
things.
no idea just
Mhm.
getting inundated with like the algorithm. It's
Yep.
so weird. Like, that's like my thoughts
Like, I know I'm a
exactly.
mom. I
Yeah.
know I'm getting into photography, but, like, come on, like, you
Yeah.
have to send me every family photographer and
Yeah.
parenting advice person out there. I'm just like, I just wanna see my friends.
I know. I know. Well, and it's like the other thing is, I don't know. I also was thinking, because I've been thinking about this kind of a lot too. Like, I kind of had, I don't know, my first like episode was basically just like a whiny little rant about Instagram.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if
I
you
should
listened
say
to
more
it.
local. Can I be like a local
Well,
gram or something?
oh my God. Seriously, Dana, like, I was thinking maybe someone can steal this idea if we never get to it. But like, how awesome would it be if there was like literally like a social media like platform like Instagram specifically for artists and makers? Like,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
but the only catch to that is like, do you have the customers on there too? Like, do you have the buyers
Mm,
on there? But
yeah.
maybe it is better because it's like more curated and like people can just find like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like it's like going to
I
a
would just
gallery
wanna
in
look.
person, but
Yes, that'd be
just on
nice
your
because that's what
phone.
I originally wanted Instagram for, and now
Right?
it's, yeah, just kinda wild.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just wanna see what my favorite artists and friends are up to, and I can't. I have to, like,
It's
type in their
just,
name specifically to or,
I
like,
know.
go to their profile to see yeah, they just never show up anymore,
I
and it's like
know.
a bummer.
Right, and I'm also like, is everybody, like, even posting anymore? Sometimes I almost
Yeah,
feel like people just are, like, over it to the point where they're
I'm
just kinda
I'm
like,
over it.
"Does
I haven't
anyone" Yeah,
posted in, like, months. I don't know.
I know.
I don't really know how to share what I'm doing really these
I
days. I don't know.
I get it, and we can dive more into that too because, like, yeah, so okay, so actually, this is maybe, like, a perfect segue, and I do wanna know, like, your life story too because I have no idea what happened there.
You don't need to go there.
Actually, maybe okay, let's, like, table that idea really quick before we dive into, like, the Instagram yada yada. I do just wanna, like, introduce you to anyone who doesn't know for my thousands of listeners and fol just kidding, my, like, 7, which you are one of, which I love.
I
Um,
would love to meet your 7
but
followers. They're
okay,
probably
so
really cool.
but here's the thing, I think honestly, this recording and this, like, meeting of the minds episode, whatever you wanna call it, is, like, I think it's gonna give me a little bit of more confidence to maybe be a little bit more public about this because, like, up until this point, I literally just feel like it's just, like, me with a microphone in my basement, just, like, pretending I'm doing cool stuff
Cool
and, like,
stuff.
having really, like, important conversations with myself, like, I'm like,
I'm
"Oh,
impressed.
yeah."
I could never talk on my own for an hour, and I'm like I
I
listen to your episodes, and I'm like, "Whoa, it really feels like you're talking to me. It doesn't feel like you're
Really?
alone in a room." No.
Well, that's amazing. That's good to hear because I
Yeah.
honestly am like, "What
I
the
really
hell?"
loved your one on microdosing. I really yeah.
Oh, well, that's thank you so much. I actually, like, worked really hard on that one, like, I don't
There was,
know,
like,
I, like
research involved.
yeah, that was, like,
And
the
notes.
one that I actually, like, had an outline for, and because like, there were, like, just so many points that I really wanted to make sure that I, like, addressed.
Mhm.
Um, so, okay. Oh, yeah, introducing you. So, do you want me I mean, I feel like you should introduce yourself, but I'll lay the foundation, again, for the millions of followers that see this. Hey, someday maybe. Um, yeah, Miss Dana Peters. Do you still go by Dana Peter? You're Dana Sandy. It seems so
No.
strange to call you that. Is, like, your artist name Dana Peters? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Danielle Peters. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Dana and I, go way back. We are longtime friends, from my days in Santa Cruz. We became fast friends and just really decided to just dive deep with each other and run an art gallery. And it was called the Art Cave, um, in Santa Cruz. And that was were like literally the golden years of our lives. And you know, there's just yeah, there's so much to even talk about just in that chapter, but and I'm sure we'll get to that too. But yeah, Dana, you are just like an incredibly inspiring paper and mixed media artist. I want you to obviously put it in your own words, but for anyone who doesn't know, let's hear what your interpretation of yourself is.
Ooh, who am I?
Who are you?
I
Past, present, and
um,
future. No, just kidding.
yeah, I love art, and I really yeah, I do work a lot with paper, a lot of cut paper. I mostly got into that because I hate throwing things away, and in art school, like, really beautiful scraps were thrown away every day, so, like, the recycling bin was just, like, too beautiful to pass up. I was like, "I gotta make something out of this." So that's kinda got me started with it. Yeah, so I kind of made like sculptures like that, and then I'd like photograph my kind of hairy, feathery paper sculptures and like reflect that, and then that's kind of how I got more of these like cave-like diorama pieces that I make. And they're just really fun. I also really love doing representational paintings and drawings, but the abstract things are really fun because I really just get to focus on color and form. And yeah, the method of my work really allows me to mix and match and get, like, more creative with color than I don't know, than I ever was able to before. Like, it's just really fun way to, like, combine colors that are, like, I don't know, like, I like making ugly colors beautiful again by, like, "Oh,
Mhm.
but if it's next to the right color, it's like, whoa." So I really like
Yeah.
yeah, really love just playing around with color, and,
It's almost like
Yeah, that's been fun to do,
yeah, it's like
with
more
my
than you
daughter
can
too, like yeah.
yeah. Oh my god, we should definitely talk about that. But I was gonna say it's almost like more so than like painting in a way, because it's
Yeah.
like there's such a contrast of like the
Mhm, yeah,
layering versus like mixing colors that kind
mixing,
of all
yeah,
become like one shade on top of
yep,
another. It's like
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't get muddy 'cause they're all
right.
like collage, everything's always still very separate and sharp, but, completely changes, depending on what it's next to. So, yeah, I
Hmm.
really like that about about what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
Me too.
yeah, lately I've been more into representational art just because like having babies and my
Yeah.
dog died and it just gets me
Mm.
really sentimental about like the people in my life and who I love. And so it just makes me want to like draw portraits of
Mhm.
all of them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like abstract art doesn't like hit home
Home
and
is
like,
hard.
yeah. So lately I've been like really loving that and kind of, like, wanting to get more into commissions and, like, doing yeah, kinda like more sentimental commission pieces for people because 'cause I'm just like, I don't know, that just seems so important to me, like, just family and pets. Like, there's nothing more
Yeah, like
important than that.
documenting, yeah, the
Um,
important people. That makes total sense.
yeah, but at the same time, I really love what I have been doing the past, like, I don't know, whoa, like 2 decades.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
20
crazy.
years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think there is a way to, like, bridge the 2, like, I was thinking I like, with the paper pieces I do, sometimes I make them out of meaningful things, so it's like,
Right.
"Oh, maybe I
There's
could take
still
people's maybe drawings that, like, they're like, 'Oh, man, I have, like, a million drawings of my kids like, my kids have done, I have to start throwing them away.' It's like, 'Oh, maybe
mm.
I could make
Oh,
sculpture
that's
or a lamp for your bedroom out of those drawings you were gonna throw away,' or yeah, so I was thinking I could still get sentimental with the abstract art by using material that's imbued with, like, memory and meaning. Um, yeah, and doing, like, a combination of that. But, yeah, I definitely just wanna get more, I don't know, just, like, of that sentimental, just
yeah,
homey,
totally.
lovey,
That is
fuzzy baby puppy.
yeah.
Just all of that
All the
good
heart.
life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the hearts.
I love that. That's such a good idea of, like, the kids' art too, to, like,
Yeah, and it
recycle
can
that because
yeah, or
totally,
just
I've
anything, like musicians, like, their sheet music or
mm,
anything that's on paper, like, at
mhm,
a wedding, like, your the cards from people that you're like, "Ah, maybe I
totally,
just" I don't know, just things like that that are like you have boxes of it and you're like, "Oh, I kinda need to throw this away," but it's like, "Oh, maybe we can make some art out of it," and yeah, so I was just thinking
totally.
of different ways I could work with people to make things that are, like, really meaningful for them and mean a lot to their family and would be, like, held on to as, like, this family I don't know, this, like, symbol of their family or something. So, yeah, kinda brainstorming that a lot lately.
I love
Was
that.
doing photography
Right.
also.
Yep.
The most, like, highly representational, documentational type of
Yeah.
art I feel like you can do. So, yeah, I kinda went that direction for a while.
Mhm.
Also because I have a really hard time figuring out source imagery, like, "Oh, that
Mm.
feels like copying someone." So, like,
Yeah.
also getting really into photography helped me be like, "Okay, now I have a lot of
This
my
is
own
absolutely
source
mine.
imagery if I
Mhm.
wanna do figure painting and drawing." I have,
Wow.
like, my own library of figures to paint and draw.
Yeah. Oh my
So,
gosh. That's
even if
next
that
level.
doesn't go somewhere, because 'cause I'm not that great at promoting or booking photography
Oh,
clients, I
like
just like, ugh.
well,
But,
I mean, it's
even if I
like
don't get there, I don't know, I have something from it, so.
absolutely. Well, you have such an amazing eye for, like, just capturing the moment in, like, such a unique way. Like, you know how, like, obviously most whether it's, like, maternity photography or, like, family portraits, like, you c
Mhm.
they're, like, kind of, like, all, like, this of the same in a
Oh,
sense,
I
and,
know,
like,
I'm getting that's what Instagram's shooting at me. I'm like, "Oh, that's who I
uh
am now. Okay."
no, 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 you're not. You, like, bring such a, like, unique perspective to the table, like, it's so refreshing to see your style of photography amongst all of that other stuff. It's like it, like, makes me wish that I mean, obviously, I wish that we lived closer together all the time, but it's like, I'm like, "Shit, I this would be so amazing to have, like, Dana photograph us," or, like,
Mhm.
even when when we were both pregnant, like, we coulda just
Mhm.
I mean, it would have been maybe a little tougher for you, but to photograph well, maybe not. We can do
No.
it. It's kind of
I can
amazing
photograph
actually
my belly.
what we were capable of doing when we were pregnant, like,
Yeah, that was
kinda
easy.
nuts.
It's the
Yeah.
baby's the hard part.
Yeah, it's like exactly, the post is like the holy shit. Um, but yeah, I mean, I love all of that, and it's just like, it's so I backtrack a little bit to, like, what you were saying before of, like, when you're kind of more in the abstract mode, it was like, the last couple of decades, like, pre-kids, and obviously that's, like, what I was mostly focused on all abstract too, and it's almost like it was this chapter of our lives where we were kinda just, like, grasping for, like, we didn't really know or, like, have this, like, kinda really rooted, like, almost like foundation to, like, keep I don't know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean? It's almost like
Yeah.
our lives were abstract because they were
Yes.
just, like,
Yeah.
undefined in a way,
Yeah.
like, we didn't have, like, well, I guess we had, like, the partners, but we didn't have, like, the kids and the babies and
Mhm.
we did have the
No,
dogs, but it was
right.
like life was just, like, this open wonderland,
Mhm.
and now that we kind of both have, like,
Yeah,
families and,
there's
like,
less to
more of
dream
a
about 'cause I'm like,
system.
"Well, I have the
Yeah.
things that I want." So there's less of that abstract thinking, really. It's, like,
Yeah.
more of
Yeah.
a focus on the present, like,
Right. And it's kinda
I
and
got the things that are important to me, I need to keep them alive and happy.
totally. And not to mention, it's like our schedules and our times are so limited that it's almost like,
Mhm.
okay, let's like it's almost like easier to do the representational stuff because it is like right in your face all the time,
Yes.
Like
Yep.
it's funny because even myself, like I actually weirdly feel like as you were saying that, I kind of had this realization of like I've even been like illustrating and drawing and painting whatever like and even designing on the computer like way more representational type of artwork as well. Like I haven't done a ton yet this year, like but the few pieces that I have done have been like the year of the dragon because it's like there and it's kind of almost
Mhm.
like easy to like just kind of think about because like
Mhm.
maybe my mind doesn't have that much more like time to wander and it's like yeah, when you do have that time to just get art done, you just kind of are like, whatever's on my mind right now. Like, I don't know. Um, and yeah, and it's funny too, because like I think back a lot about like when we had shared our studio space and had the art cave and everything. And like a lot of the times, like I would go to the studio and I would be like, almost in this like not robotic mode, but I would be like, okay, I need to go to the studio. I need to go like make art. I need to like do what I got to do. But if I didn't have like one of our shows as like a deadline or like, yeah, any sort
Yeah.
of like
Any sort of, like,
specific project to work on, I would
project.
just go there and I'd be like, what do I do? Like, I don't even know. Like, it's almost like I had too much time on my hands that I didn't know how to like
So
actually
weird.
really make it work, And it's like to think
Mhm.
about that now, like now having a kid or multiple kids, it's like,
Mhm.
what a like luxury, but
Yeah.
also like I was kind of like so much more like lost.
Yes,
Not
definitely.
lost, but it was just like I don't know what I'm making. So that was like why it was just like abstract all the time. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna do some brush strokes and see what happens.
I didn't even know what was important to me besides art. So it was like I was making art for art, which is more
Yeah,
abstract. Like, "I love
right.
you, art. I'm gonna make art
Yes.
about art.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're the thing I
Absolutely.
love."
Yeah. God, that's so interesting. Yeah, that is really interesting. Ah, well, okay. So that's great. Yeah, I really because I wanted to talk about like art, like pre and post kids. So we kind of like, I guess we kind of covered that. I feel like that was like the one note, the like bullet point that I like wrote down. I was like, what do I want to ask Dana? Okay. This is
That
so like lame. Dana pod notes. Life as a mama and an artist. Of course. Uh how how has being a mom changed your view and perspective as an artist? I feel like we maybe just covered that. Um this is like literally the same question. Do you think your work has changed since then? Like
mom brain.
yeah, like I don't
I
know.
love it.
Uh
No, definitely.
oh, this is like kind of a heavy one. Do you miss your old self in life?
Hmm.
This is like hard. I don't know.
Mm, mhm,
Also, it doesn't have to be like this black and white
yeah,
answer.
no. Um Not really. I feel like I'm really intact. I don't feel like I left behind a better version of myself. I'm kinda bummed that I took with me a lot of things that I thought would disappear. Like, "Oh, I'm
Mm,
still anxious? I'm still
mm,
self-conscious? I thought when I became a mom, I wouldn't worry about that stuff anymore." And so I'm, like, kinda like, "Oh, I wish I did leave a little bit more of my old self behind."
yeah. It's a
Um,
lifelong journey. There's, like,
yeah,
always gonna be
definitely. And I
yeah,
realized that, like, oh, you don't just, like, come I mean, a lot changes overnight,
yeah,
but some things don't.
yeah, for
And
sure.
are just still slowly changing all the time, but, no, I think I might do a better job at being a mom than being, like, an artist.
I
That,
mean
like I feel like I don't know. I mean, I put a similar amount of pressure on my momhood as I did on being an artist, but
mhm,
a little different or something. Just,
yeah.
like, a little more love and tenderness involved in motherhood.
Oh my
Or I
god,
try to. It's
absolutely.
like I try to be more loving and patient with them, which in turn I try to, like, be more patient with myself, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a little better. I feel like I was a little harsh, on myself when I was,
Oh,
like, just
totally.
trying to be an artist, like,
You were.
"Gosh, I should really be making a living doing this," or
Mhm.
"Maybe I should just give up," or I should really be a professor," or I don't know, I was always kinda like or, "Man, can't we ever make money at the art cave?" I
Trust
don't know,
me.
can we
Oh my
really keep
god.
doing this passion project? Like, I don't know,
Yeah,
I feel like I was kind of hard on myself and, like, being a mom,
same.
it's just like, "Hey, I did that. We're
Yeah.
doing good." I
Right,
don't I
I
like I
know.
not lower the bar, but just like, I don't know, you're keeping 2 awesome humans alive, and
Yeah,
yeah, doing pretty good. Like, I
absolutely.
don't really worry about the other things so
Right,
much. But I
right.
think I'll have time for those to pop back in once they're in, like, full-time
Hope
school.
hopefully
Like, it's not
not.
too late for me to to have those
Well,
anxieties come back into my life, but, I'm trying to think, what do I miss? Just, like, I don't know, maybe maybe I miss my
sleep.
boobs.
Yeah, your boobs.
I always, like, look down on people who, like, got, like, boob jobs, and not look down, but I was just kinda like I didn't mean to be, but I think there's a little bit
Yeah,
of judgment in me, like,
yeah.
why can't they just be happy with who they are and their body?" And,
Yeah,
like and now that and but I didn't realize, like, "Oh, you had the nice boobs. You had they were round and they were up
yeah.
there, and now they're
They're up.
not." And I'm like, "I get it. I get it."
Yeah, yeah. Especially when
But I
the
love
tech
that. I also love that though. I'm like, I am more humble, I'm more understanding,
yeah,
like, of more forgiving of, like, different body shapes and people who might have problems with part of their bodies, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, like, that's okay if,
mhm.
like, I wanna be accepting of my body, and but I can also be understanding if I'm not or if other people aren't," or I don't know. I feel like it's widened my horizons of, like, what different people in different bodies feel like, because I feel like
Oh,
I've lived in 2 different bodies now.
totally. I mean, seriously, it's like the transformation that you go through is just unbelievable with
Mhm.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
funny. I miss my, my boobs, was it right after giving birth? It was,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
insane. Granted, they were just, leaking all the time, which was, not so much fun, but I mean, breastfeeding for 3 years, now I feel like a little 13-year-old boy again. Not again, but now. I'm like, "Oh, it's,
Oh,
even less than it yeah,
was
ever was
before.
before."
Oh,
Okay.
no, I wasn't expecting that. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay."
it's just wild. They're just containers. They just are there to, hold
Mhm.
food, life, which is
But, yeah, just
amazing and
no, it
yeah.
is amazing.
Mhm.
So, like, I don't know, it's like when I start to miss things and I start to not miss them, I'm like, no, I kinda like where I'm at now. I don't know."
Yeah, yeah,
Um, uh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe just trying to think what I miss. There was more freedom, but I don't know,
yeah,
I kinda like how I am now. I feel like I make healthier decisions.
yeah. I get it,
Like, I
totally.
don't need to drink to have fun,
Oh
or
my
I don't
god.
know, I'm just like, "That sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
No, thank you," and I kind of feel better anyways.
Mm. Seriously, it's
But it's taken a while, like, it was
yeah.
uncomfortable to try to be to, like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to this fun get together with people. I'm not gonna drink because 'cause I'm gonna be breastfeeding tonight at"
Mhm.
who I am. But I feel like it's gotten me better in social situations because it's like, no, I can't use that crutch of just like having a glass of wine and I don't
Mhm.
know. It's like how many years of sobriety or like pretty much sobriety. Just like
Yeah.
when you're pregnant for 9 months and then
Right.
breastfeeding for a year or
Totally.
so, and then pregnant for 9 months and breastfeeding for a year or so. It's like
Yeah.
that's a big chunk of a life.
It just becomes your lifestyle, like, kind
Yeah.
of
And
automatically.
that's
Totally.
kinda cool that you, like, respect your body for the child's sake, but it's also helping you, and it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." Yeah, I think motherhood has kinda helped me treat myself better in a way too, because 'cause
Awesome.
I'm their mom, and I want them to have a good mom, so I'm like, "Oh, I better take care of me," 'cause
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like it, like, builds up your self-respect more
Mhm,
in a way, like,
mhm,
again, like, kinda automatically because you, like, have to be like, you have to show up for them, and
yeah,
it's I don't know, it kinda almost, like, brings yeah, obviously, like, more purpose to
mhm.
your life and your days.
Which
It's
kinda
funny.
sucks that if I feel like a lot of women are that way or maybe people in general,
Mhm.
but it sucks that it has to take that to feel like you're
I
worth
know.
giving love and respect to, but at least I found my excuse to be kind to myself.
Totally, and it's like and it's different for everybody too,
Yeah.
it's like, obviously, there's tons of people out there who don't want kids and aren't planning on it and, everybody's on their own journey, but,
Mhm.
um,
And still learn to get to that level of respecting themselves and
yeah,
being
I
kind
hope
to themselves.
hopefully, at least. Um, right on. Okay. So, I mean, I feel like I feel like I'm jumping the gun with this question. I was gonna ask about, like, your plans for the future, but I feel like maybe before, like, jumping into that, maybe we should just, like, reminisce about the art cave.
Okay. That sounds nice.
I don't know. I mean, God. I just yeah, I don't even know, like I just feel like we should it's been it's been such a weird, like, time warp since the art cave days, like,
Mhm.
because obviously we, like, pretty much I don't wanna say closed our doors, but I guess that's kinda like a way of saying it,
Mhm.
handed over the torch, may more or less, whatever happened there. Yeah, like 2020, and
Mhm.
yeah, for anyone who doesn't who's not familiar with the art cave, I don't know who isn't, but um, yeah, so again, like Dana and I ran an art gallery in from like, gosh, what was it, like 2018 to 20? No, I feel like it was so much longer than it actually maybe technically was. Maybe it's
Yeah.
2017, end
Yeah,
of
I think
16.
that'd be safe to say.
Yeah. Late or 20 teens, you could
Yeah, it's
say.
like
Chunk of time
yeah.
there.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, just like I guess the cliff notes of how it all came about was basically Dan and I were sharing an art studio space in the Wrigley building on the west side of Santa Cruz, which it is just this giant old warehouse. It was technically the old Wrigley gum factory and just tons and tons of open space, and it was kind of this really funky eclectic community. There's like, electric bike companies. There's um what's the like electric skateboard? I can't
One wheel?
one wheel. Yeah.
One wheel,
There's like
yeah.
so many out here in Colorado, by the way. It's so
Oh,
funny.
wow.
Yeah.
Cool, and that's a Santa Cruz business, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
No, I love
Yeah.
Santa Cruz for that. So
It's
many things like that.
It's like such an innovative place. Like so much comes from it. It's kind of nuts. I mean, and like the longer that I've been here in like the Boulder community too, I've like noticed that like there's a lot of companies and brands that were started here as well. A lot of them are kind of like food companies and
Yeah.
like
Yeah, definitely.
outdoorsy kind of like brands and
Isn't
stuff.
Cliff from there?
Yeah, Cliff Bar.
Bars?
There's
Yeah.
like Boulder like potato chips or something, I
What's your
think.
favorite Boulder brand?
Oh god, don't put me on the spot. I don't know it that well. I like honestly, I can't even. Let me get back to you on that one.
I think something I'm excited about in Santa Cruz
Mhm.
is the I don't know what it's called, maybe Santa Cruz foam or something. It's like styrofoam that's, like, environmentally
Oh, hell
friendly.
yeah. Is it
I don't
like
know, I'm like,
just
"That's so cool."
disintegrate or something?
Mhm.
I love
But
that.
you can
Yeah,
still use it for the same things. You just, like, coat it with something. I don't know, I'm like, "That's so cool."
it's so
Like,
cool. And then
I feel like
that
everything would be better, yeah. Just
right?
replace all the plastic and styrofoam with
Slowly getting there.
Mhm.
Like not quick enough it seems like, but we're making progress. I'm really trying. I'm like it's total side note, but I like because I mean, everybody, we all love the environment, obviously. We all want Mother Earth to survive. But it's like I like really let it I feel like for a while, like I really like let a lot of that like affect my overall like mentality and mood and just like outlook on life. Like I feel like I was just like really negative for quite a while about all of that and like hopeless and I don't know. I just like I've kind of come to this point where I realized that that literally doesn't help like anyone or anything. It doesn't change anything. And it's like even down to uh like reposting, like
Mhm,
on
mhm,
social media, like reposting like negative things that are happening to the environment. And it's like, yeah, like
mhm,
awareness is helpful, but at the end of the day, like you're kind of just like feeding this like negative
mhm,
narrative.
mhm.
And it's like the world doesn't need that. The world needs more like art and
Solutions. Yeah.
love and
Yep.
beauty and like, yeah, just love, 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 love. Like the world needs
Mhm.
love. That's like all at the end of the
Yep.
day. That's like and beauty and art. Like that's kind of what I've
Mhm.
come to the conclusion of. And so I feel like that's like that mentality is like really and maybe that's even something like again, like becoming a mom and like
Yeah, I feel
it
like
was
all parenting advice these days too is like stay away from shame and criticism and,
mhm,
you know, stay on the err on the side of just like, "Hey, let's think of a solution. I'm here for
right.
you." And
Yeah,
it's like I feel like that's what the world needs, which is just like
exactly.
reparenting and like
Mhm. And
good
healing.
relationships with each other, good relationships with our children, good
Yeah,
relationships with the earth. Um, yeah, so like
absolutely.
just focusing on what can we do to make this right instead
Yep.
of like, look what's wrong.
I
Look
know.
what
Like
you've done.
feeding into that like
Mhm.
cynicism and it
Yeah.
like it makes it bigger. And actually, so my last episode, where I was talking about like kind of my whole like personal mentality journey with like Zinnia's journey with cancer. And I don't know if you listen to it yet. It's totally fine if you haven't. It's fine. But there was like one kind of like turning point that I mentioned, and it was like such a huge like light bulb in the head moment where um I like tried to bring Zinni to this like Reiki guy. I don't know if I even told you this. This was like early on before we even knew like what her lump was on her neck. And so I like took her to this like Reiki guy and ended up being like honestly more of like a therapy session because it was like when Zinnia was like right when she kind of just started walking and she was just like all over the place and like moving so fast, like couldn't sit still. And like the whole thing with Reiki is like you lay down on like kind of like a
Mhm.
massage table and they like do their magic and like whatever. And I was like desperate for any of that. But anyways, he couldn't really do that because she wouldn't sit still. And so it ended up just being like he turned into like my therapist at the moment because I was just like, oh, I don't know what's going on. And he gave me like the best words of advice where it was basically like there's the two wolves. Maybe you've heard of this, but it's like there's two wolves. Like there's the white wolf and the black wolf. And the white wolf is like love and positivity and hope and all the good stuff and the black wolf is like the opposite, like darkness and fear and hate and all of that. And he's like, every thought that you have and everything that you're saying is literally like you're throwing like a T-bone steak to either the white wolf or the dark wolf. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. So I was like, I gotta feed this white wolf. Like, I just gotta like feed the white wolf and like just love and positivity and optimism and da 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 da.
Mm,
So, anyways, that was kind of like a big
like that.
yeah, it was like a big turning point, and I'm not, like, obviously saying, like, I never have, like, a negative thought or I'm not, c cynicis a cynic, is that it? Is that the term? Ever again, because obviously I definitely have my moments, like, especially once a month, but, like, that was just kind of an interesting one, and again, like, when it came to, like, the environment and just the world at large, like not even like the one environment is one huge part, but it's like again, like I don't even want to get into it, but like all these wars happening, and it's like, bringing a children into this world like is heavy. Um, but at the same time, it's like you can only kind of control what you can control at the end of the day. And like,
Mhm,
like if and I don't want to say the word bubble, but like if you can kind of create like a world of beauty and love
mhm,
in your like bubble or your
mhm.
circumference, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's
That
something.
was
It's
a weird
adding
tannent, but
adding something
yeah.
positive. I know I used to
Yeah.
feel guilty about making a positive world because people would be like,
Yes.
"Well, look at what's happening out there, and
Oh
you're
my
just gonna be
God.
happy over here," and it's like, "But if I'm just like
Absolutely.
I don't know, it's like that's the best I can do."
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's other things I could do, but
I
right now
know. I mean, it's
I
like
can't.
there's other things that everybody can do. I mean, yeah, and I think and maybe that was like also just like the age of like being in your like late 20s, or you just want to like change the world for the better. And of course, like we all still do, but I think raising kids in like a healthy way is like maybe the most important thing you can be doing at this point,
Mhm.
if you are already a mom. So,
Yeah.
um yeah, interesting tangent. So I just like super segued while I was trying to tell the story of the art cave, but we were just talking about the Wrigley building, and um yeah, so
Innovative companies
yeah,
and yeah,
innovative
that
companies.
was what I
Oh
was
yeah, and I was gonna also just mention too, and this is like random side note, but that company that Sarah Bianco was just
Mhm.
commissioned to do that
Yeah,
insane mural
yeah,
for was another really cool one. Prometheus, is that what it's called?
yeah, yeah.
And it's like hydrogen fuel or something.
Mhm.
It's amazing. Like,
Yeah,
I honestly almost feel like the future is it's like things are just like going to just kind of catch on like super quickly. I don't know. We'll
yeah,
see.
it's definitely everything is accelerating
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah.
We're not even yeah, we're gonna feel really old
Oh my
soon.
God.
I'm
I
like, "Oh my
already
god, the
I
world wasn't
already
like this when I
yeah.
was your age."
Oh my God.
Oh
Have you
my
hung
god.
out with like anyone like Gen Z status at all lately? It's like just
No.
like it's just the weirdest contrast because they're like dressing like the 90s, and I don't know, like Billie
Or like
Eilish or whatever
mhm,
just
mhm.
came out with a new album, and I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm gonna give this I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna actually like give this a shot." And like I like randomly stumbled upon like the music video. They apparently they still have music videos, which is cool.
Mhm.
And it was like, what the fuck is she wearing? Like, it was just so
Were they like Jengas?
oh yeah. And just like this big hideous like NBA jersey over this like white long sleeve baggy shirt, and like she's got like the square like metal framed glasses. Like I feel like such an ass just sitting here judging. It's not bad. It's just
It
like
was like when my mom
what?
was irritated when we all started wearing bell bottoms, and she's like,
Yeah,
"Oh boy."
right. But at least that like, kind of looked cute. I don't know. It's just the
Maybe that's
pendulum
not what it's about.
swings. No, it's almost like the goal is to not be cute.
Mhm,
It's like,
which is cool too, I kinda
I
like that.
mean, they're
I
kind
kinda
of
like that.
badass.
Yeah,
Like they
definitely.
actually, I don't know. I'm very kind of confused by them, but I'm also very intrigued. Um,
Mhm. I'm like,
yeah.
"I like the idea of my girls not wanting to be cute." I'm like, "That sounds cool."
You do you. Yeah. I mean, whatever. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, the word cute. It's like, what does that even mean? I don't know. Wow, the tangents, but that's it's part of the free flowing conversation. Okay, so back to the art cave. So it was just awesome. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I just feel like it's worth
It was more than I thought it was
having a
gonna
conversation.
be, even though
Yeah,
it wasn't a long stretch. It was so much that happened so fast. I just feel like I
so
met so
much.
many amazing people, like,
That was like maybe
oh
the
yeah,
greatest
like, whoa,
gift from
more
that.
than in school or going to the city to look at show I don't know, it was just, like, so many artists
Just
and getting to know them. as
Mhm.
they come to install shows, and I love that we had so many group shows, like, I feel like
I know.
the artists meeting and us meeting the artists and everyone being inspired by the theme of the show. It was such like a collaborative, um, like bonding kind of experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just loved it.
It was so special. And, like, just being able to, like, support all of these kinda up and coming artists at that time and then seeing where they are now is just
Mhm.
so cool to just, like, see how much they've grown and just, like, so many of them are just killing it, like, doing so well, like, um, I love following Alison Garcia. I think she is just, like,
Oh,
absolutely amazing,
amazing.
and she is just, like, oozing art, like, it's just
Mhm,
everything, every
mhm,
part of her life is just, like, everything she touches, it she just
mhm,
brings so much to the
mhm.
table with the world of art. She's just, like, so creative and crafty and just I love it. And
No,
she's,
I
like,
love that we got
one.
to meet the people behind the art at the art
Yeah.
cave. Like, you might
Mhm.
see her work and think, I don't know, like, that's amazing, but then meeting the person
Yeah.
behind it is, like, equally amazing.
Mhm.
Like, she's so quiet and humble and sweet, and she wrote a really nice message about Gidget, just that,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's kinda shy and introverted, and when she'd come to the art shows, Gidget was always there for her to just, like, go rub her tummy in a
Oh
corner
my
and, like,
god.
boost her, just have her, like, feel comfortable in a maybe an
Yeah,
overstimulating setting, and yeah, just,
totally.
like, really sweet connections, and
Mhm.
yeah. And then just, like, the people we met, like, Sarah Burns, she just had a studio, like, next door, or then, like,
Mhm.
someone who I did dog walking for, his daughter's this awesome artist in LA, and he's like, "Oh, maybe she'd like to have work in your show." Like, I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
just, like, funny connections just because we had that place that wouldn't have
I
happened
know.
otherwise.
It
Like,
was
it was
like an
just
artist
so
magnet.
cool. Yeah, I loved it.
The
Like, I
community
can't figure out how to make something like that happen in
again.
any other way. Yeah, I
I
don't know.
yeah. I know, and it's just so wild to think that, like, just the energy behind that and the momentum that we had in the yeah, the community of artists that we created, like, collaborated, whatever you wanna say, was just so phenomenal, and I almost feel like it just, like, had come to this, like, not like peak moment, because obviously it could have grown even more, still can, never say never. Um, and then it was like COVID, and it was just
Mhm,
like everything just ripped off like a Band-Aid,
mhm.
and we all just like went
No, we
into
had
like
just added
hibernation.
4 people to the studio.
They
Rachel,
did?
Jordan, no, we
Oh.
did.
Oh, we did.
Time and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
half, remember we
Right.
had
We
Liz
I was
and
like, they
Olivia,
did?
Jordan, Rachel, and I remember Rachel and I were making murals in the space, in our studio spaces and within the gallery, and when that, "Go home right now, there's COVID."
Yeah.
I don't know, and we were just
Yeah.
like, "What?" Like, I
Yeah.
remember, like, I was in the art cave when, orders to, go to your house happened, and we were like, "What? What
It was
does this
so
mean?" Like,
yeah.
and,
And I
that
remember
was, the end kind
right.
of
It was so
art
wild.
shows, and
I know, I
yeah.
thought we were gonna be, like, locked at home for, like, 2 weeks or something, and then we'd be,
Mhm.
like, back to our
Like,
lives, like,
"Oh,
that was
just keep
just
going." That was
yeah.
wild.
I know, we had, like, such high hopes. We had just built that
Mhm.
wall, like,
Mhm.
we had
I know, it
just,
seemed
like
like the beginning of something new, like, even more collaboration because we had more
yeah.
people
We had our
involved,
show.
really cool people, yeah, we always kinda worked with Idea Fab Labs.
Mhm,
Jordan, he has a fabrication lab who, I don't know, they have, like, laser cutters, and
mhm.
they put on cool shows and music. And anyways, like we had just kind of created something even more collaborative and group, like a big group effort. And then like that happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Just oh my
but
god. Yeah, I remember I had that, like, Golden State sh with Neil Breton, from
yeah, that was gonna
San
be,
Luis
yeah.
Obispo, I
Yep.
think that's where he's from.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
like
had that whole show
curating
scheduled, and
that
then
show.
I had to, like, make the call to, like, cancel it, and I
Mhm.
felt so horrible, like, because they him and his kind
Yeah.
of partner in crime, Missy, I think, they were, like, so
Oh,
they were really that the coolest part about that was, like, kind of this new idea where it was almost like Neil and Missy were almost kind of like they were curating the show, but we were, like,
mhm.
hosting it, which was,
Yeah.
like, this whole new idea that we never really got to actually try, which I think was
Like
such an awesome kind of
gallery swap.
concept
I
because
kinda
it
had
was
wanted to do that with that Lone Goat gallery in
Yeah.
Australia,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like a gallery
Byron
swap.
Bay. Yeah, we were kinda
Yeah.
wanted to do, like, some gallery swap ideas or
Mhm.
guest curators, and yeah, that was fun,
I
but
know, and then it just never happened, and then our whole lives and then we both got pregnant, and our whole lives literally flipped upside down and just I mean, not necessarily in a negative way, but it was just like,
very
what a
different.
weird transformation, like, it felt like overnight, and obviously it wasn't, but it was just, like, literally like a time warp,
Mhm,
and yeah, it's like, honestly, like, I feel like so much happened, but at the same time with COVID and just, like, staying at home and doing nothing, like, so much didn't happen,
mhm,
but it's like I kind of almost blacked out, I don't know, the time. Um, I don't know. That was just wild, and yeah, I just, to be honest, like, I still think about, like, how to potentially pick up where we left off. Obviously, I'm not physically in Santa Cruz right now because so much has happened in my personal life that has like changed things up. I don't know. But
yeah,
I the thing and it's like I think a lot about like how could we do it in like a digital form? But then I'm
mhm,
like, is it even would it be the same? Like it
yeah,
really was like that person to person and like physical art
mhm,
in your face and the
mhm,
shows that
mhm,
was, like, so magical about it, and that is how it, like, gained so much momentum because people would just show up and be like, "I've never even been to this building, this is amazing," like, da 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 da. So, anyways, um,
aw, Basil's
I
back
know.
there,
Oh,
cute.
I know.
Hi, Basil.
She's like a
Aw,
cat, she just curls up in a little ball all the time.
aw, so
Oh,
cute, and finished.
and can't forget the big guy. Bandit, come here. You
And
remember Dana?
Bandit.
He's just like,
Yeah,
"Huh?
gallery dog,
Come
gallery
here."
dog.
I know. I tried to tell
Um,
him about Gidget, but he didn't really understand.
yeah. I don't think Simone, my youngest daughter, for
Yeah.
understands, but she keeps Gidget alive. Like, she talks
Yeah.
about Gidget all the time, and she's a baby. Like, she's just like she always points at pictures. We have a drawing that Amanda Payne actually did, like that family portrait with Rob and I,
Yes!
and she
Oh my
always goes,
god.
"Gigi, Gigi, mama, dada, Gigi,
Oh
mama,
my
daddy, Gigi,
gosh.
mama, dada."
So
And we always
sweet.
buy flowers for Gidget, like, every week at the farmer's market and
Oh
put it,
my
like, next to her
god.
picture, and so
Oh,
every time we see a flower anywhere on earth, she points to it and says, "Gidget." So
oh
it's just
my
like,
god.
Gidget is so
Always.
alive,
I
and
love that.
I feel like a lot of it is through Simone because
Yeah.
she also became really social right after Gidget died. Like, it was
Mhm.
like Gidget was like, Gidget, she just brought everyone together, it was goofy, just I'd have conversations with strangers because of her, and she'd
Yeah.
be in the stroller with my 2 girls, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, how cute." And then when she died, I'd started going on walks and I was like, "Oh, I'm not really it's not the same, like, no one's pointing and laughing, and we're not having any
Aw.
conversations." And I feel
Yeah.
like Simone picked up on that, and she started,
Taking
like,
her
waving at
place.
everyone and being,
Oh my
like,
gosh.
super engaging, like, "Hi, hi, hi, hi."
That is
And I
so
was like,
cool.
"Whoa." It was just like Gidget, like, was there or something, or she was
So
like I don't know. I was, like, so sad, but now it's, like, this strange feeling of, like, she's here just in, like, another way. I don't know. Might just be an, like, delusional thing
no.
I'm doing to
Okay.
myself to keep myself from grieving too much, but, like, I
No.
feel like she's here, so I'm not even that sad because she's still here.
Her spirit is still alive. Well, okay, this is perfect because this ties into the woo part of the
Mhm.
podcast.
Mhm.
Not that it, like, is necessary, but honestly, like, I don't know. I believe it. Like, I believe her little soul, her little entity spirit is, like, hanging out. Basil's, like, whining behind me, I don't know. Just getting sad talking about it, but I don't know. I think she's, like, present in some way, and, like, the fact that Simone is just, like, kinda took on her personality, it's like, I don't know. You never know.
Mhm. Yep.
They find a way to just be with you, like, it's just like your, you know, grandparents or
Yeah,
ancestors who've passed
yeah.
on. It's like spirit guides.
They live on through
Yeah.
the love. And I
Yeah.
don't know, Gidget also, I'm realizing, has inspired a lot of art, like, in her life and
Yes.
death, like,
Oh, yeah.
I was looking, like, Adams had a portrait of her,
Mhm.
um Jordan did a wood engraving of her. There's someone who did this like abstract painting of a dog with an underbite based on her.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
drawings of her. I have really good photographer friends who've done like amazing photos of her. I'm like, oh my God, she's just
Wow.
like a Mona Lisa or something. I'm just
You're
like,
gonna need, like, in the next house, if you guys ever move, if you
a
buy,
Gidget
like,
wall.
another you're just gonna like, I was gonna say a whole room just dedicated to, like, all Gidget art.
Mhm. Uh, but yeah, I don't
Hey!
know.
Okay,
Art's a good
so
way to oh, and then I got a mug from so the what's her name? Megan, do you remember Megan who did the, like, ceramics at the art cave? Like, the mugs that had boobs and, like, the women
yeah.
sunbathing on plates?
Yep.
She now, I think, makes a living on doing pet portrait mugs. Have you seen them? They're amazing.
Oh!
And that's, like, her
Yeah.
thing. She can't keep up with orders, like, that is all she does, and I got
Yes.
one for Gidget, and it's coming
Yeah.
soon. Sarah has one of
Oh.
Leela.
Oh my
They're pretty
god! Oh my god, I'm gonna have to get 2, 1 for Bandit and
yep.
Basil. That's amazing. Ugh, that's so awesome. That's
But
crazy.
I feel like maybe I just feel like her, like, because she was pregnant when she had that show there, and it's something about I feel like something about becoming a
Right.
mother just gets you, like, more sentimental and into, like,
Mhm.
things that are, like, really meaningful to people,
Special yeah.
like their children and their pets. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
such a turn
amazing.
in her work.
I mean, and yeah, I know the ones that you're talking about. They're like
Yeah.
they are works of art. Like I almost would
Mhm.
like feel bad drinking out of it because it's such a like
Yeah.
beautiful piece of art. But
Mhm.
it's incredible to think that like that one idea has turned into like a full-time
Uh-huh.
gig. It's just
Yep.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
I love that. And I mean, this is I'm gonna like segue again, but like I just like I wish I had that where I could just like narrow my focus into like one thing that was like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like wanted enough, like
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
people
in demand.
actually wanted to
Yeah.
just, yeah, like
Mhm.
actually
The
there
back
was like
orders. Yeah.
yeah, there was a need for it. And,
Mhm.
but I'm just like, so not that person. Like my
Yeah.
mind is all over the place. And
Me
like,
too, I
that's
relate
why
to
this
you. I feel like we were
podcast
really good
exists. Like,
partners and that we, like, could
yeah.
both feel each other on that. The, like, "I
Maybe
wanna
we
do everything.
I
I
know.
wanna do everything."
Well, it's
Wait,
the
why can't I get
Sagittarius.
really good or known for one thing?
Right.
Oh, it's 'cause I wanna do everything. Okay, I get it.
Literally. Like, why do
Like
I have a freaking podcast? Like, what am I
mhm,
doing? Like, honestly, I I honestly was just like, I need to do this. Like, this is something I must do. And I don't know. I have no idea where I'm going with this. Like, I just am like,
mhm,
oh, that could be fun. Like, let me try. Like, no like end goal in mind. And like maybe that's why it's fun. And maybe because I'm not putting too much pressure on it, that is fun. And I feel like that's almost like what happened to my art all the time. Like, especially like paying for a studio space and everything. It was like having that like added pressure of like needing to monetize it all the time. And like it was like a real mind game for me personally, because I just constantly was looking at my art as like, obviously it had to be this like money maker, and it wasn't. um I will say this is like super random and maybe unnecessary to say, but like something really magical happened last night that,
ooh,
and I've been feeling kind of while we're on the subject, like I've been like kind of feeling like, I think every artist has this moment where you just like feel like unmotivated, or you're just kind of like obviously don't feel as creative or yeah, motivated to make art, and you're kind of like, what's the point? Like no one ever buys my stuff. Like poor me. Like I kind of go through
mhm,
that a
mhm,
lot.
mhm.
Um and I have lately too. Like I haven't like and I haven't really like promoted myself that much. And it's like, what am I supposed to expect? But at the same time, last night I like opened up Instagram, and a girl I went to high school with, so 20 something years ago, like haven't seen her since then, messages me and she's like, "Hey Lee, I really like I've had my eye on like these three paintings for years, ever since she like first posted them." And she was like fishing in Alaska. She just like made a ton of money doing her like fishing season. She's like, it was a really good
Aw,
year and I want to buy all three of these paintings. And it
aw, that's
was
so cool.
Yeah, and I was like, "Whoa,
Whoa.
what?" And it's, like, Out of My Womb with the View series, so it's, like,
Oh,
from that time so it's, like, almost
so
going on, like, 4
awesome.
years,
Yeah.
since I, like,
Mhm,
even shared photos of them originally, and it's just,
mhm.
like, that just so it's just wild, like, you just never know
And that's
when
so meaningful, like, someone who worked really hard to make
Right.
enough money and that's what she wants to spend it on is,
I
like,
know,
your art, like,
I
that's
know,
really
and it's
cool that art can mean that much to
I
someone.
yeah, and I'm like, as I'm saying this, I think that's literally like the biggest art sale I've ever made in my life, like all at once, like in
Mhm,
one purchase, which is just like, and I haven't really been like working diligently to like promote
mhm,
myself or do
mhm.
anything. So it's just like
Yeah,
the world works in mysterious ways. But
yeah,
I think like the lesson is just like don't give up. And
yeah.
like there are always going to be people out there who do love your work. And it's like
Mhm,
I have to remind myself of that. And I think every artist should, at the end of the day,
yeah,
because it's so easy to just like feel like, does anyone care?
mhm. Yeah,
Fall into that like victim state, which
yep.
yeah, I'm definitely guilty of a lot, but
I did open studios for the first time in a long time, and I was like, "Oh my god," like, people
right.
came, and they like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, it's like, I've been wanting to buy your art," and, like,
For years now or
We've been
whatever.
following you since the art cave, and we
Oh,
didn't know
I
what
love
happened
that.
to you," and it's just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow," like, they were, like, looking and waiting for me, and they came, and I don't know, I was just like, "Wow," like,
Yeah. It's amazing.
our art is out there in people's minds, and that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Even if we're not, I don't know, making a living
Const
doing it, it is a
posting.
connection, and, like, it is meaningful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Or even if you're not, like, posting on frickin' social media
Mhm.
every single day or
Mhm.
doing reels and stories and
No, I can't,
Yeah.
I should, I
No,
guess,
I well, it's like I mean,
I
I know I already mentioned, like, I did kind of like it was, like,
Mhm,
20 minutes long, though. It was, like,
mhm,
the first episode where I kinda, like, talked about Instagram and just, like,
mhm.
my, like, mental battles with it and, like, obviously, specifically with being an artist, and, like, that's kinda why I have explored this, like, Patreon
Yeah, yeah,
kind of other version of social media, but it's, like, way different, obviously, where it's, like, a very much more, like, intentional community, and
yeah,
it's interesting. I'm still obviously, like, figuring out how to make that really work for me as well. Um, but yeah, I could do a whole other rant episode of just social media and specifically being an artist. Like
yeah.
it's such a mind fuck. Like at the end of the day,
Mhm.
it's just wild. And yeah, anyways. Okay. I do think maybe we should I mean, I could just talk to you all day, but
I
maybe
don't
we
know,
should wrap
we
it
can
up. And again,
wrap
because
it
of your time.
up.
Okay. So maybe I should just ask this last kind of question that I had, which was like plans for the future. And again, like this isn't in any way, shape, or form. Like, you know, like, are you gonna do a show in like a year? Like, don't get me wrong. This is not like be hard on yourself kind of because again, we are moms of young children. So it's
Mhm.
also like anytime soon is probably not even realistic. But like, say when even the kids are like in high school and a little
Yeah,
bit more, like, autonomous, like,
yep,
I
yep,
don't know, do you
yeah.
have any
'Kay.
aspirations? Oh,
So,
oh my god, I'm
I'm,
excited.
like,
Let's hear it.
accepting the mystery. I'm like, I do not have a
Yes,
master plan. I have a
absolutely.
few paths I see that are both they're all
I
kind of
love it.
fuzzy and
Yeah,
cool.
like your art.
Like, when you were talking yeah, fuzzy. When you were talking about how you're like, I wanna do everything." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, yeah, I could." I'm kind of in that same position where I'm like, "Oh, I could, like, just simplify and be like, keep making art in my
yeah,
like, that's enough.
yeah.
Like, I don't need to add new things, like photography, and then I just, like, applied to a substitute position at my daughter's preschool. I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh, maybe teaching youth art classes again. You know what, maybe I just
yeah.
wanna be an art teacher at their school." And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, "That's a new direction. You'd have to get, like, another degree
Which but for, like I mean, you've already
for
mastered, like,
young."
college level, like,
Yeah, but you
university
still need to get,
professor.
like, child development and
Okay,
education.
early child
Roles.
development.
There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
guess it's, like, a whole different
Yeah,
thing. But
But
it's
that
like
was
if you
just
could
something I was
handle
like, "Maybe
okay.
I don't need to, like, completely, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
change the path." Like, maybe I just see what small opportunities I can do where I don't have to, like, get a whole other degree because I have enough experience under my belt to, like, make something happen without like, I need to stop with the, like, degree thing. Like and, like,
You
just having to, like, I don't know, just get more credentials or I don't know,
right.
but
It's gotta be
that's
something in your astrology chart, and I
yes,
really wanna, like,
okay.
analyze it because there's definitely something in there that's like, "I need the credibility." Like, yeah,
Yes, yeah, like, I need another yeah, I need something
something
else and
to
yeah,
verify that I am worth
yes,
this
I
posi
can't do
yeah,
this. Yeah,
yeah.
so that's, like, one. That was one
Mhm.
thing I've been, like, thinking about. And the other one is like, oh, Sylvia's really she's really into music and we had her sharing wall at preschool and it was like so amazing. She was just like not liking preschool at first and then I was like, "Oh, I noticed there's this wall over there. Is that for sharing?" And it was kind of like had been empty forever. Like, "Oh yeah, we used to do that." I'm like, "Oh, can we do that?" And so I brought like all of her art and unicorn collection and her
Oh,
favorite books and she was so proud and like
oh my god.
and just like and I remember that at Open Studios, I had made a wall for her art,
Right,
and she was so proud.
yeah.
Um,
Oh my
and so I was like,
gosh.
"Oh, man, she gets so proud about art," and it's something that really makes you feel, like, understood and seen, and
Yeah.
maybe I just wanna keep, like, making art with her and making art for myself and having shows for myself and have my 'cause I'm like, "How do I connect with my daughters through art?" And I'm like,
Right.
"Just making art is like, that
Yeah.
really not impresses them, but yeah, it's like this, "You made that," and like, "Whoa," like,
Mhm.
I don't know,
And then, like,
they're not
displaying it and, like,
yeah, and
having
displaying
it
it.
yeah.
It shows, like, courage and, relationships and community, and I'm like, maybe doing that is, like, a good thing to do as a mother, like, being an artist isn't separate, it is, like, a really strong, good thing to do as a mom, like, show someone that they can be an individual, they can express themselves, they like I'm like, "Oh, all of that is good." Like, maybe just keep being an artist and stop feeling selfish about it because it really is something that isn't just naturally out there for kids to, like, think is normal. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like, at least me, I always wanted to know how to please people and, like, be stable and make money and have a good job and impress my teachers or I don't know, like, it was always about other people and not just,
Mhm.
like, expressing who I am and being authentic and, like, maybe just being an artist is enough of, like,
Yeah.
role modeling for them.
Mhm.
And so that's, like, my, like, 2, I don't know,
Yeah.
yeah. One of the other paths, and, um,
The
yeah, so
3rd
I'm
one's
thinking of maybe, like,
starting the art
focusing
cave.
more on just art, and Sarah, you know Sarah,
Yeah.
I show we show at her gallery,
Mhm.
she's like, "We should have a
Our last
show," so I
one.
think we're gonna have a little show coming up, and that
Ah,
always, like,
I'm gonna have to
really
fly out.
motivates me, and yeah, I'm really grateful for yeah, Rachel and Sarah.
Oh my god, I
They
just
are
love
like
them.
our
I
art
miss you
sisters
guys.
who keep
I know, I
us
feel like they keep us connected to, like,
yeah,
the
like,
world of
keep doing
yeah,
it, mamas."
right, I know. We're like, "We're
Ugh,
just taking a time out for a couple of years, and we'll be
we'll be back, we'll
just
be
hold
back.
that space for us. We'll be there."
Yeah, yeah,
Might have a little more wrinkles and saggy boobs,
mhm,
but we'll be there.
we'll be there. And I guess the 3rd
Um,
one was photography, how I was really getting into
right.
that because I felt like it was a really flexible job where you can have, like, 2 sessions a week and then, like, editing at home. But I don't know, to me, that has kind of stretched my brain in a little too many directions, so I'm like, maybe just simplifying and going back to the art, even though it feels like it's not responsible, I'm not making a lot of money, it's selfish, I'm like,
Mhm.
maybe that's okay.
Yeah.
So, like, today, that's kinda what I'm feeling.
Today, right.
Maybe
We'll
because I'm
check
having a podcast about art.
we'll check back
With
with you
my
tomorrow
art.
and
Yeah.
see what the answer is.
But, yeah,
And then
teaching, art,
for
and photography. Those are my 3
okay, and
paths.
then the 4th one is I move back and we
Uh,
just do a
open
mulligan
the art
and
cave
start the
again.
art cave all back up again.
Perfect. Done. We'll do all of them. We'll do all the
Ugh.
paths.
Well, I mean, like, literally, you could do all of those things while having the art cave. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I could do all 4, maybe.
like I
Who
just
knows, like, when time opens up when they go back to school, you might be like, "Oh, we have so much time, we can do all
right?
the
We can do
things."
everything again. Ah! We just maybe might go to bed a little bit earlier than
Yeah,
we used to.
yeah.
It's like remember
Uh,
staying at being at the studio until like 11:30 at night sometimes, and like it's just
mhm.
crazy to think about that. Like
I
remember
did
just
that
like
once
setting up,
in
yeah.
my garage studio here, I stayed up
Oh,
late, and I
you're
hated
like,
myself
oh
the next
no.
day.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I am never doing that again, I can't be a mom on no sleep, it is really hard.
Yeah. Going to bed early is like my favorite part of the day.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
going to
Like, I got to bed before 9, oh my god, this is a good
like
one.
sometimes I'm like, am I depressed because my favorite part of the day is going to bed? Like it's like after
Uh,
you put the kids or the
You're like,
kid
"I
to
did it,
bed,
and
you're
I go to
like,
bed."
"Yes!" Like, I have my life back and now I'm exhausted and I'm gonna go to sleep. Like,
Yeah,
maybe I'll read like 3 pages in my book and pass out. But,
yeah.
um, yeah, there's like and I know we should probably wrap up, but it's like there's like things that I reflect on about the art cave that I'm like, what would I do differently? And like, I don't know. I mean, there's probably like obvious that's like a negative kind of thing to say, I feel like, but it's in the sense of like if we were to ever do it again, like
Mhm.
how could we make it like more of a functioning profitable profitable business? I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I know, right? That's maybe we would have done it if we had known. So
And maybe it wouldn't
actually,
have been as much fun, or we wouldn't have
that's
met the same
true.
people, like, maybe
I
it
know.
was what it was supposed to be. I think you'd be happy if you were here. I think I'm lucky that I get to, like, go back sometimes, or I get to talk to Rachel, and I know she's making really cool tattoos in the spot. It
I
feels really
know.
like the
It's turned
spirit of
into a
that
tattoo shop. It's
spot,
wild. Never saw
which
that happening,
is
but I
well,
did.
more than that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, tattoos are awesome, and
I'm
just
just
the
kidding.
fact
Yeah.
that people are in there getting something amazing put on their skin. I don't know, the place
Yeah.
is still magical, and that feels good.
Yeah. So what
Kinda like
like
Gidget Never Died, the Arcade Never Died.
right. The spirit
Things
lives
just live
on.
on in another way.
Yeah. Well, so who
'Cause
even
that
what's
space before us was boring, so I feel like something about starting
yeah.
that vibe in there has
Oh,
continued. It is, like, never going
absolutely.
back.
It's never going back. Like I'm just like I'm so curious what William, the owner of the building, like thinks
Into
of
that
that
corner.
whole corner. It's like he's probably just like, "Oh, as long as you guys aren't like living in here and like starting fires and whatever, like fine, paying your rent on time, whatever." Like
Uh,
it is like that area, I don't know, of Santa Cruz.
yeah.
Just so funny. But yep, it'd be fun to go back.
We'd
But
love to have you.
oh, I know. We'll see.
We miss you and Ryder. I wanna give a
Yeah.
shout out to our husbands.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Should we just should I just like link in the Nexties award speech after this just to make this like 3 hours
Oh, yeah.
long?
Yes, yes.
Have you like watched that at all? Like
I don't think I ever
it's
watched
on
it.
YouTube, I think.
I never
And
watched myself on video. I feel bad, like, I was supposed to share the interview I did with Idea of Fab Labs,
oh
and
yeah,
I'm,
you
like,
should. Well, you
weird
should
about
share
watching
this
it. I haven't
one.
watched it. I'm gonna watch that one.
Yeah.
I'm always like, "I don't wanna watch myself on video," but I will.
Yeah, but you're beautiful. It's all
There's
good.
some actors who don't watch their own
Oh
movies.
yeah.
Is it true?
Really? That's
I
interesting.
read that somewhere. I don't know who it is, but
Huh.
it's a thing.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I've heard that. Like, and just even people who post to
Mhm.
whatever social media. Um,
I'll watch it.
but
I'll
yeah,
watch
it's
it.
on there and it's pretty, I'm gonna sound so Gen Z, but it's pretty cringe. Or maybe that's millennial, I don't know. But it's like
It's
there
pretty good.
because like there's like literally 5 times where they're trying to like pull us off the stage. They're like, it's time. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. And we're just like, and we want to thank our husbands. And da, 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 da.
Like
It's
we
just
were
like,
winning
oh
an Oscar.
God. I know. I know.
That
Just
was
like bring out the scroll. I want to thank my mom and yeah. But yeah, seriously.
thanks,
Every
mom.
single artist just like linking their Instagram pages, whatever. But
Okay.
yeah, it was a good time. Good times. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up here.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. Shit, that was amazing. Thank you so much for coming on
I
the
miss you.
Art
Come
of
stay in our
Brew.
camper.
We will. Um, yeah, I know.
How
Santa
do you
Cruz
say
is calling us.
goodbye?
I don't know, but
I don't know either. Rob hates that. He's like, are our girls gonna be like this? Like, can we just
oh,
like say goodbye? Like my whole family's like this too. We're like,
you just keep
goodbye.
talking. Yeah.
Um,
Um,
goodbye.
I'm just like, I can't even look at you. Just goodbye. Um, should we just do this like weekly so it's not so hard? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just a little
We got all the
2 minute.
time in the world, right? Just to
Yeah,
sit around
this
and
is easy.
gab. Yeah. Um, well, and again, this is like why I didn't create like a outline for this because I was like, this is just gonna be like catching up with an old friend,
Yeah.
turn it into a episode. But yeah, I really appreciate you for taking the time and talking with me about your life and our adventures together and
Mm.
grand future plans. And I don't
I
know.
guess I miss our now I'm like, now that I'm missing you, now that we're saying goodbye,
Yeah,
I
right.
remember what I missed about my old life, and it was going out with you.
Oh God. I
I'm
mean,
like,
I
"Whoa,
was,
we used to, like, put on little dresses
oh
and
yeah,
do some
glitter. No,
dancing."
lipstick. My God. Yeah.
Oh,
Dance like seaweed. Is that what you said? Oh,
mhm. You used to be kelp. That was your move.
I just became like your paintings. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or your paintings, your art. Um, I miss that. It's funny because I was gonna say like I miss going out and partying, but I didn't want to say it
Mhm.
because I didn't want to sound like the like the asshole
Just a
of
little,
the
but I only did that I don't know. That I think that'll come back. I think it'll come
we
back.
right? Our 40s are gonna be glamorous.
Mhm.
Okay. All
Alright, we
right.
can talk about this off record.
Yeah, I was gonna say I might edit this all out.
Yeah.
Not all of it, just like
We need to have
some.
a goodbye, so we
I know.
we need to
Okay.
we need to edit in a official goodbye.
I feel like I
I'm
don't
sure you
know the words. I just why is it so
I'm sure
hard?
it happened a while back, and you can just play some cool music. It'll be
Yeah.
good.
Cue the my insane club music. Do you love it? Do you love
I
it?
like
Because
it.
I
It's
do.
good. I like it.
I
I
was
think it's
microdosing when I chose the song, and I was just like,
ridiculous.
because it's like a license, like I have to get like a song that's not obviously like
Mhm.
just a
Yeah,
random song off
I
of
like it.
Spotify. So I had to like purchase it and all this. So I was like going down the list of like all of this like stock. It was like Adobe stock,
Mhm.
like music or something. And I was like, yeah, and I was microdosing. And then I came to that one and I was just like, oh yeah. Like I was just like in like a trance and I was like, this is the one. This is it.
I
This
love
is
it.
it.
Nothing's
And
made me wanna microdose more than that episode.
so
That sounds
I
really
highly,
nice.
I mean, I can't recommend it enough. I keep meaning to like order another supply. I need to do that. It was life changing,
Wow.
honestly. Like it just like my
Did
whole
it kind of make you start this, or were you already doing the podcast before
it
that?
definitely helped me like get things done to
Mhm.
create it. Yeah,
Wow.
like it was like the month
Cool.
of January. It was the weirdest thing because I literally like it was like classic New Year's resolutions. Like I got big
Mhm.
plans for the year and da 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 da. And then it's like you don't really end up doing them, because it's just like
Mhm.
whatever. Um, but that I don't know what it was. Like I had so much like motivation behind. I just was so excited about it. And then like the mushrooms just like made me like laser focused too. And I don't know. It was like every hour that like Zinnia was at preschool, I was like, I'm doing this. Like I don't know. And now that like
Nice.
summer or like spring has started, like the weather is like all nice and it's like I have a harder time like sitting in front of the computer and like getting things done. So I'm definitely kind of like slacking a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm getting back into the groove. This is my motivation. Like I'm gonna edit
Nice.
this and get this posted and I
Yeah,
might
get the
actually
video
like promote
going.
this a little bit more on the
Ooh.
Instagram. I don't know. I've been like, I got like really excited about it. We're never leaving, by the way. But I got like so excited about it. And then, yeah, I made like a teaser reel on Instagram, and I was like, start a podcast, or like, yeah, da da da, doing this
Uh-huh.
thing. And then I haven't said anything since because I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I say that? Like now I'm like, oh God, now everybody's expecting things from me and I'm not ready. And like, so yeah, I've had major imposter syndrome. Like, who do I think I am? Like, what am I doing? But I think this episode is gonna boost the confidence. As long as you're okay with it, like to
I'm
post it
okay
and
with it.
share it,
Post anything you want.
it's
I
gonna be fun.
feel more confident when I'm with you too. I'd like to
I know.
link up in other ways and make things happen. I don't
Yep.
know. It's fun.
The power couple's back.
I
I
know.
I feel like I should like send this to Matthew Swinnerton and be like,
Mhm.
yo, post this, put this in your Event Santa Cruz newsletter. Our cave. We're back, kind of on a different podcast, but it's cool. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking and let you go because it's probably like actually, well, it's yeah, it's 2:30 for you, so you kind of gotta go, right?
I said
You're like,
2:45. We can go.
okay.
We got
What
15
haven't we
minutes.
what haven't we talked about yet? Do you think
Okay.
anyone's actually gonna listen to 2 hours of us just gapping?
No, no, no. Especially the past 10 minutes have been like a really
I
strange
would.
stretch. But I know, I keep thinking, like, maybe some gold is at the end of this
Yeah,
rainbow, and we're gonna say
where's
something really
it?
special
It's
that we
gonna
need to back in.
we're getting there, we're getting there. We're just getting warmed up.
I know, like, maybe we're gonna come up with, like, an epiphany,
An
right? Like,
epic
at the very
idea.
end. We're gonna, like, reinvent ourselves.
Yep, I know.
Oh, it's coming to
Well,
me. I don't
I
know.
know,
It's
and this is like what I was talking about. It's like I feel like I see something in the future of like a resurface of the art cave, but I just don't know what it is. And like again, like me not being physically there, it's like it just I feel like I don't know, like digital just maybe we could do like a podcast. We could just
together.
change the title to this. I don't know.
No, I think you got the
I'm just kidding.
podcast arena.
It's just like an experiment.
Uh,
I honestly have like I said, I don't know where this is going. I just kind of like talk. I feel like I have a lot to say and like if someone actually feels like listening to it, great. If not, whatever. But
I
I
love it.
just like
I'm
talking
gonna
about
catch
random
up
stuff.
on your podcast after I'm done listening to Good Inside. Have you
Oh,
it's a good one. It's a
good inside.
Dr. Becky, she's like parenting
Oh,
guru.
parenting. Right.
Parenting, that's
Yep.
why. I started following Dr. Becky and then all the parenting
Oh
is directed
God.
at
The
me.
floodgates
She's
of
really good. Good Inside is so good inside
okay.
the
You're
book.
actually my like one friend that I have here.
Mhm.
She's mentioned her to me too, and she's, like,
Yeah,
recommended her.
yeah, it's a good book. Just like we're all good inside.
Yep.
And remember that all the
Mhm.
time. Like, tantrums aren't to piss you off. There's
Right,
something they're struggling with, and
right.
it's your job to help them. They don't do things because 'cause they're yeah, it's just what they're
Yeah,
going
in
through.
spite of you.
And we
Yeah.
do the same thing when we do mean things, it's not because we really have ill will towards people, it's just like,
Right.
we're having a
It's
hard
like a
time.
reaction, and it's
Yeah.
like our inner child is kind of, like,
Mhm.
running
And
the
being able to,
narrative.
like, repair afterwards is more important than being perfect, so that's, like, comforting. Yeah, it's, like, a really good
Right.
book. I like it a lot.
So that
Oh.
the book is called Good Inside?
Mhm, yeah.
Okay.
I like it. Good inside.
Is that
Mm.
the golden nugget? No. Just kidding.
No, there's no I mean, it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
We're getting there.
I think I'm gonna be a great parent after this book.
Yeah. Well, that's
I don't
good. I
know.
should probably read it.
No, you don't have to. It's
I
just
I know. There's just so much information out there. It's like so hard to know
mhm,
where to even
mhm.
but
It's
that's a
hard
good
to know
book.
where to plug your eyes and your ears and
Yeah. Yeah. For
that
sure.
one's just playing in my car during my preschool drop-offs and pickups, and so it's really cool because
Mm.
Sylvie's listening to it. She's like, "Oh, yeah, deep breathing. You do that, mom." And I'm like, "Thanks,
Oh my
Sylvie." Like,
god.
she knows that I'm, like, listening to parenting, and she's like, "Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah, we do that. Uh-huh."
Oh my
And I'm
god.
like,
That's
"That's awesome."
amazing. Sometimes I try to like tell Zinnia to take deep breaths when
Oh,
she's
you
like
can't
having a
tell them.
tantrum and she's like, ow. She's like,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
tell me to
Sylvie
do that.
hates
And I'm
it
like,
when I
ah.
it's just you have
Yeah.
to, like, do it, but you can't tell them to do it.
Yeah.
Just like, "I'm getting worked up. I'm gonna take some
Yeah.
deep breaths."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you tell them, they're like, "Don't tell me to deep breath.
They're
Don't tell
like,
me to
oh,
count
hell
down."
no. Yeah. Get out of here with your meditations and your breathing and your crystals. No, I'm just kidding. But
Well,
all right.
all
Well,
right. Goodbye.
yeah. Who knows? Who
Farewell.
knows what the future holds?
Ghost.
I really like what you said about like just being open to it. And I think that's
Mhm.
honestly at the end of the day, that's kind of all you can
Yeah.
do. And it's like,
Open and excited and
yeah,
willing
set your
for things to
intentions and
yeah.
lower your expectations
Yep. I
and
was like
you're good.
I never believed in that, like, younger. I was like, "You have to be a perfectionist and be mean to
Mm.
yourself and have high goals, or else you'll just land in the mud."
Ugh,
But then I was like,
yeah.
"Whoa," like, I wasn't really happy, so let's just
Yeah.
keep it
We
real.
gotta, us humans, we really gotta stop
Yeah.
being so hard on ourselves
Mhm.
and remember to have fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
We leave it on
'Kay,
that.
bye.
Okay. All right. Thank you again so much for doing this. I really appreciate you and your time, and I love you and I miss you.
Mhm.
And I will
Love
hopefully
you.
see you in person sometime soon.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. I love
Wouldn't it?
you. Love
I
to
love you
you and
too.
Ginger Minor and Basil and
My big heart.
Bandit.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yes. That's the nugget.
Okay, that's gotta be on. That's gotta make the cut.
Right? Okay.
Hearts and sparkles.